such shitty quality.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing like musical theater still? Or?
You could join the Baltimore Rock Opera Society.
Yes!
I just saw one of their shows. It was good. It was
Too bad it's ran by like cucks and libtards. No, I'm just kidding. And I'm liberal. I don't mean to say libtards, but
well, I mean, along with 99% of all performing arts, you know, Republicans aren't historically very good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the Bros, they do a good job. A friend of mine was in one of their productions. It was about an 1890s gold mine in the Yukon territories.
Yes, that's what I love. They picked the strangest thing.
Yeah, they just write him, and he played this kind of steampunk inventors, like Elon Musk of the 1890s.
Yeah.
Like totally selling like kind of
no,
bullshit
like
technology.
Tesla, who Elon Musk literally...
Right.
It's
like
such a fucking shame. That's proof there's no God. Yeah.
Did you say there's no God?
No, that's proof there's no God. Nikola Tesla wanted to create the electric current and give everyone free energy. And then the biggest fucking reptilian lizard person, well, one of them anyway, named his company Tesla and is like...
I thought it was more of an homage, and that was more
really?
Tesla's fault for never having sex, dude. He was celibate his whole life, right?
All the greats
he fell in love with a pigeon.
I mean, when you're not reproducing, there's only one way to reproduce. You got to give somebody your name.
Ideas.
He gave it to Musk.
It's a legacy, right?
It's a legacy. Elon Musk is Nikola Tesla's son.
It's his spiritual successor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people would love that.
I already do.
I blame Jack White for like the hipster fascination with Nikola Tesla. Like, you ever see Coffee and Cigarettes, and he has like a Tesla coil?
Oh, cool.
Just sitting there, like fucking with it.
He did go. He went wild in the later part of his life. I mean, he would do when he started out. When Nikola Tesla first dropped, he was like, wasn't he the AC guy, alternating current? Because Edison was like, dude, I'm telling you.
Edison copied it, yeah.
Direct current. And then Nikola Tesla's like, what? No, it's got to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They were like, why? And he's like, trust me.
I mean, it's just like anybody else. Like, the one who really originates the ideas tends to get ripped off and dumbed down. It's just because the world wasn't really going to accept all of that. It just wasn't adaptable. You need a guy to steal the ideas and make them more, you know, palatable for mainstream sensibilities. You see it in every comedian.
MySpace to Facebook. My favorite saying, one of my favorite sayings of all time in relation to that is, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese.
Yes.
That's exactly how everything works. Somebody comes up with the idea, gives it a run, and then somebody else sees the idea and goes, good idea, but here's how you could do it better. Boom. And then that's the thing that blows up.
Right.
Yeah. And it's usually like, did you, speaking of dick scientists, Albert Einstein copied his wife's, her theorems. She wrote a lot of the formulas and theorems.
That could be
and he
some
said that a woman would never.
propaganda
Yeah, there
if
should
I
be a
ever heard
fucking
it.
bros. Oh, no, it's not. It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
but-
Kurt Vonnegut, that dude apparently had zero executive functions. He just knew how to hire assistants that could take his brilliant ideas and pull them off of whatever Post-it notes he wrote them on and like edit them into books.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, kind of just a hallmark of a lot of these. I don't know. I'm not a writer. I don't really know what it's like to do
Yes, you
that.
are. You're a writer. You're
Yeah,
a
but
comedian.
not,
You're
yeah.
like-
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but I don't publish anything.
Einstein's theories do kind of sound like a woman came up with them. It's like, time and space are not real. It's really the speed of light.
I mean, was
Light is
Einstein
what
talking
matters.
about vibes? Is that what it really is? That's what relativity
it's actually
is?
just vibrations.
and he created the nuclear bomb, which destroyed the nuclear family right now.
He's like, all right, take a vibrator. I'm patenting this shit. You crazy bitch.
That's some space age tech right there.
I'll show you vibrations.
Well, welcome to InfoWarlocks, guys. Did we start?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I guess we can do the intro if I can still
Oh,
remember
yeah,
it here.
Yeah. You could say, there's a war for your magic, or there's a literal war for your spirit, for your soul right now.
Live
That's very
from the
Oliver
studio
Stone.
complex in Baltimore, Maryland, you're listening to InfoWarlocks with Sam Kelly. There's a war on for your magic.
What's up? How are you doing, guys? Welcome to InfoWarlocks, to the non-prophets of prophecy. You got Jimmy Zaleski on the mic.
I like that. The non-profits. That would be a great band name.
Profits.
That's
Well, not lost profits. That man is, as they say in England, a pedo.
oh,
He got stabbed.
Sam, that might be my favorite thing you've ever come up with.
Should we just call the podcast that now? I don't know.
Non-profit.
Actually, that would be a great name for. I'm not gonna lie, the
Because
non-profit.
InfoWarlocks might be too controversial now, and I don't
And
feel
copyright.
like
You don't want to get sued.
I've actually turned my back on witchcraft, even though I practice magic. But that's another story. And welcome, Jeff King.
Mail this episode to yourself in an envelope. Copyright it.
Yes, Jeff King is a true social justice warrior.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
A true warrior.
I run tons of nonprofits. We don't make any money.
My whole life is a non-profit.
We're in the red.
That makes us good people, right?
Maybe that's why they have like the red flags of communism, because you're always financially fucked.
Oh, okay. I'm connecting a lot of dots here in the first 10 minutes.
Yes. We're connecting the dots of the stars, guys. But yeah.
I heard a quote recently that millionaires don't follow astrology, but billionaires do.
Yes.
Who said that?
Why can't I be a fucking astrologer for like
Probably a billionaire.
for a celebrity like that? That's what I.
Because you
I
don't
wanna
believe
do,
hard
yeah.
enough.
No.
Believe more, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll
No,
you can
'cause
manifest
I
it.
believe in breaking the chains with binders to the stars, which is actually, but yeah.
Well,
that's-
you're doing that.
Yeah.
So that's, you can't do both, I guess.
I'm autistic, so I just look at the archetypes of astrology to understand people because I don't understand humans. So yeah.
Billionaires, I could see them following astrology because also a lot of broke people follow astrology. And I'd be interested to know the average net household income of astrology followers. I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah.
it's below median household income.
Well, it was originally
That's definitely an astrological projection. Like just like coming up with a statistic. There's so much. I love
But
it.
when you get that rich, you start to kind of feel like it is magic.
Yeah.
Because like when you're like making like 200,000, you know where that money's coming from. You're like, I make 200K a year. I know where every single cent. When you just start making money for no reason, you're like, I might be God. I don't know. I might be God.
Well, it's like athletes. Like they do all this improbable stuff. Like that's why there's very few like atheist professional athletes. Because
Exactly.
you are so activated, and you know that like you've beaten the odds already just by being there. And then on top of it, you beat the other team that's trying to beat the odds.
Yeah.
Like you do feel like you're connected with divinity.
It's
I would
all-
imagine
yeah.
making money in the stock market feels kind of
Yeah,
like that.
well, that
they
literally
must.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also do coke, and coke makes you feel like you're God. so.
Fuck yeah.
it almost seems like kind of arrogant to be that successful and not believe in a God. Because then you're just like, yeah, this is all me.
Yeah, that
I
would be
deserve
so
that.
insufferable. Like whenever somebody is like that, it does make it kind of turns you off a little bit. To
Yeah.
them.
But on the
Like I like seeing the greats give it up too, because it,
Yeah. Got
to.
it sets a good example for us plebs.
But like on the opposite angle though, when you're an artist and when you're broke, but you're saying that your inspirations literally are from the divine mind, are from source. It's not necessarily coming from you. You're looked down on and you're called fucking crazy. But it's if you don't have anything materially to show for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's literally what genius was. Genius back in like God, you fucking know about Greeks and shit, Jimmy. Like that's literally
do.
what it was. Like the genius was considered the spirit of divinity that used to give people their art.
I
or their
believe a
work.
genius, the word genius is the singular form of the plural genie.
Yes.
I think
yeah.
that's actually true.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
Yeah.
And if it's not, fuck off.
no. Yeah, I could go up.
Genie like
Yeah.
grants you wishes or like,
Multiple, yeah.
which is
yeah.
a demon.
Yeah.
Is a genie a demon?
Fuck yeah! Are you kidding me? Like that
Weird.
doesn't seem a little demonic.
I could go into like a huge tangent about shit that's been going on with me for the past 6 months, but I don't. I'll tell you guys about it later.
With
I don't know if I
demons?
should be with the. Okay, in ceremonial magic, it's called your holy guardian angel, and in ceremonial magic, you're given rituals and instructions in order to contact this being or have it contact with you. And a lot of people think it is your higher self, but some people think it's literally Enlil or Yahweh, literally like God. Contacting you, and I know it sounds fucking crazy. Never mind. I'll tell you guys about my
your
experience
show.
later.
What
but,
if God is your higher self, bro?
Yeah. Well, actually, the demiurge does exist, but
Well, like God made us in His image. What if that's just like projection,
yeah.
astral projection?
Projecting
yeah.
on me, God.
Never mind. I can't talk about this
Stars
stuff.
and
I'm
stats.
sorry, but
That
yeah.
was what I was gonna say. That's what we got to call it.
Yeah.
Because we're just it's all witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just picking facts out of the sky now.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll explain it in like an easier way, but it's been the most profound, beautiful experience of the past like 6 to 7 months of my life, and like it's just so fucking beautiful. Like I'm talking to God and God is talking to me all the time. And I know that makes me sound crazy, but at least when I'm watching TV, God is fucking talking to me. Who's fucking talking to you? Well, not you guys, but when you're watching TV, it's like, you know, I don't, Tucker Carlson, Taylor Swift, the talking heads on news, like fucking Steve Colbert.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Just at least I believe that like God, and I'm getting messages through that.
I believe you are too. And I believe, no, I'm not even kidding.
I mean, they probably believe that they're transmitting messages through God. I would imagine you want anybody on TV to think that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are. They're talking to you and like 8 billion other people through God. It's like the clergy.
Like I was just praying to an angel that this podcast would go well. In the bathroom at Dunkin' Donuts, I walked past here and I saw a spa called Angel's Touch. Over here. It's just little signs and synchronicities like that from the universe. They call it God winks or something. Like
wink from God.
Yeah.
America runs on Angel's Touch.
Not to be confused with God smacks, which is when you piss God off and he gives you herpes.
Yeah.
Which I think is how the band got their name. That or the AIC.
No,
song,
we're God smack and smiting the Lord with our punchlines, Jeb.
Wow, is that what Godsmack is?
That's what I heard. I read that somewhere when I was in like middle school. Because I know Alice in Chains has a song called Godsmack, which is okay. You know what that's about? That's like heroin that God gave you to shoot up.
Hell yeah.
But I think the band, like I think it's some northeastern term for like when you're talking shit and God punishes you in kind of a passive aggressive way, like a little God smack, like not a God smite, like you're not getting smote with the brimstone, but like
I get those all the time. Yeah.
it's like when Homer Simpson says, "Hey, can you give Reverend Lovejoy a canker sore?" God's like, "I got you, boss."
like I was doing some magic like in my room and chanting. Like my mom is Jewish and stuff, but she heard me. Like I wasn't raised religious, and these things from the Kabbalah are in Hebrew, and I was chanting them in my room. And my mom started screaming at me. She got all freaked out and said, "Stop putting all these black magic spells on me!" Da, 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 da. So I did.
Wait, she thought you were cursing her?
Yeah, and then she literally broke her
Such
tooth
a Jewish mother
later that day.
narcissism. I love that, by the way. It's like, maybe I'm cursing somebody else, Mom. Like, you're not the only person who's ruined my life.
But she broke her tooth later on that day.
Wow.
So were you cursing her? Or did
No, Yahweh had me covered. I'm just saying, like,
Wow. He's got you 360.
I'm just saying.
Yahweh got you.
It's like, he said, you know, he will lay a
Smiting
table before your
crowns.
enemies.
He smote a crown.
His crown, right? So I'm
The
just.
fuck is that?
I didn't know there
it's
were
in
even
the-
curses in the Kabbalah.
Oh hell yeah!
I thought it
I
was
thought it was nothing but curses, but I don't know the Kabbalah.
I
very
read
well.
the Old Testament.
Oh wait, it's me here.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And it seemed mostly like it was like a bunch of tax codes. Like Leviticus is literally like, if you own 3 goats, you have to pay 10% of your,
Well, there's the Talmud,
which is a Jewish curse, taxes.
Oh
but,
yeah.
I mean, I guess
Well,
technically.
yeah, and like the New Testament forbids it, like forbids interest. So like, there's no such commandment in the Old Testament. So, you know, you didn't have the religious prohibition against like money lending and usury like you do in Christianity.
Well, yeah, Christians are just Reformed Jews.
As a Jew, I don't think that's true. Isn't it like their own? Because like modern Judaism isn't even like actually Judaism.
Well,
it's like from some other tribe because it gets into the like 12 tribes and like Jacob and his, you know.
Yeah, the 12 tribes are really the zodiac.
I guess what I mean is Jesus.
Is that true? Yeah, that's pretty true.
Jesus was a Jew, and he would walk around and basically like talk to all the Pharisees, which are like the high priests and stuff, and be like, "No, you guys are all hypocrites. You have all these stupid laws. Like that's not actually how you get closer to God. It doesn't matter what if you're eating this or doing that and you're charging interest." And so he basically like all of his followers were Jews too.
Right,
Yeah.
and because they were
And
from
whores. He loved
Judea,
whores.
that was just the
Jewish
religion in the region.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
It was a regional thing.
My favorite thing is when he went in and he fucking flipped the table over the money changer.
Banging song in
It's like,
JC
he was
Superstar, by the way.
bipolar.
It's grungy. I like that song.
Yeah.
It's
speaking
like
of
in
the-
utero right there. And it's like 20 years old.
Yes. Yeah. Jesus did give off Kurt Cobain vibes, which he was part of the age of Pisces, and so was Kurt Cobain.
That's-
Died young.
Yeah, died young and pissed off a lot of authority
Yeah.
figures in the process.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing if Mia's coming. Shit. She's, you know Mia, right?
Mia.
Yeah, Mia Musa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's fucking awesome. Okay, but speaking of the Kabbalah, there's Jewish divination called the Gematria. and it's sacred geometry.
That's what the NFL's based on.
really
What?
Fuck yeah, dude. Like,
Dude.
well,
Wow.
why do you think Brady wore 12? They did like a special on, like, you know, like during NFL games, especially primetime, they have these segments.
prime time.
Right, exactly, which is extremely, I mean, come on, the Peacock Network, NBC,
Yeah.
it gets weird. But they did some like breakdown of Tom Brady's stats, and they had this like pentagram around the number 12.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's cheeky, but
Yeah.
you know, also kind of not like any joke is
So
usually
12,
pointed.
I guess, for the apostles is what you're saying, or
The
what?
Well, the
apostles,
12
the
of the
zodiac
zodiac,
signs, the
Yeah.
tribes of Israel.
Yeah.
I don't like that there's 3 big 12s that I can think of right
So
now.
you're saying that
And
there
Brady,
is a
come
script,
on.
that there is a script in the NFL.
There's a script of the universe.
If you ever talk to like people that believe in Calvinism, they think there's a script to life, and
Well,
God
yeah,
knows
yeah,
if you're
What's
going.
Calvinism?
That's the predetermination that you're going, like that. Before you're born, your soul's predestined to either heaven or hell, and you don't. It comes out on Earth usually, like you can kind of
Well, yeah,
tell with people.
Heaven and
but-
hell is on earth, but yeah.
right. Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, and that's something that like if you talk to a lot of Christians, they get pretty offended. Like a lot of mainstream Protestant and Catholic thinks that Calvinism is just a load of horse shit because they're like, no, that eliminates free will, and isn't that the whole point of this thing?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, the Calvinist, John Calvin, I believe, was the guy.
Right, Presbyterian.
Yeah. And that was the whole thing. Like, you're already, like, everything in your life is already going to happen, which honestly, I'm still in a major battle between myself, whether I think that's true or not. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if we're like, when you're like, when you're like at a family function, you're playing a video game and there's like a little kid who's like, can I play? And you're like, all right, whatever, dude. And you give them a controller and they think they're playing.
Right.
So it's like, I wonder if we're just watching our life unfold thinking we're making the choices.
That was how I played
Wow.
Madden for the first 5 years, where I just would mash and like sometimes shit would happen.
Yeah.
That was good. Sometimes things that would happen were not so good. Like I would throw an interception or like lose the ball or something, lose and feel like an idiot. But then eventually you do something like that. It's like anything, right? But I just think that we're probably fucked if it's predetermination because we do comedy. So like that really shows
comedy
shows our hand
is
there.
beautiful. I mean, any art is beautiful. And it's funny that you say that about, because a lot of, in Aleister Crowley and Thelema, they say, do what thou wilt shall be the order of the law. And a lot of people think, oh, that just means you should just be like a Baphomet, goat fucker, Satanist, just material. But Aleister Crowley was actually a holy man. Do what thou wilt means do not what you will, do what your divine will is. When you open, and
So could that include Christianity, like following Christianity?
yeah, it's all one.
Is that basically like saying, what would Jesus do? Is that like the original way to say that? Do
No,
what thou
what would
wilt?
Christ?
I mean, Jesus had a script. He was sent to do a job, and
Yeah, he literally
when he
did have a
did, he was
script.
like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah.
But see, we all are. That's what
He read
Revelation.
the final act. He was like, oh, God.
We all
yeah,
are.
and then
He
he's like,
just-
"This is wow. I don't like this script here." It's like when you're in the production meeting, you're like, "Man, they're killing me off this one."
Yeah, but we
Like any of
all
us
are.
knows
That's
that.
what Christ consciousness is. We all are brought on this earth to complete a mission, and that's what Revelation is. When Christ comes back to earth, it's everybody waking up and doing what they. But yeah, sorry.
That is what it is.
I've been alone for like the past 3 months, so just.
It's all good. We're all in the right headspace
Yeah.
for this because I just started reading the New Testament recently and I'm
Yes.
getting into it.
Yeah, and
Jesus was like kind of a little bit of a dick, a little bit.
oh yeah, totally.
Like
yeah.
he was like, he did not put up with anybody's shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. yeah. But I can.
And he would
show it.
change. Like he didn't he just change his apostle's name? Someone was talking about.
Yeah,
that.
yeah. There, Saint Peter's name was Simon, and in the
What?
book,
But they had like 3 Simons though.
There was-
that was
Yeah,
probably
that was
confusing.
why. That was
There
part
was
of it why.
Simon, the Zealots, right? That was
Yeah.
one of them.
Was that
Yeah.
Simon the Magus?
No,
Okay, so
no.
he-
There's so many,
He was-
many of these guys.
He was like a rival Jesus at that time, and that's what started the
There
Gnostic.
wait a minute.
There were like a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of like magicians around that time and mystics. They were
Messiahs,
Like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
John the Baptist.
Yeah. I fucking love.
He
John
was
the
a
Baptist.
He was a direct predecessor to He baptized Jesus,
Yeah.
Let's see.
and probably also was like set the legal precedent. They're like, they even talk about it like in most like writing about it, like where they go, this guy was baptized by John the Baptist. He has an even larger following. He's more accessible, and he's an even bigger troublemaker. Like they really needed to.
Yes.
Like the
that's what-
Romans didn't want to deal with him either because they don't want to deal with somebody who's questioning their authority. saying like there's a higher power
or
than
not even
Caesar.
questioning their authority, but not questioning the highest authority.
There was a James the Greater and a James the Less. Imagine Jesus giving out those names.
Yeah, he was kind of, that is a dickish thing.
These were apostles.
I'm reading Bartholomew, Philip, Thomas, Andrew, Matthew, John, Simon the Zealot, Judas Iscariot, Peter, who was Simon, another Simon,
That's
Thaddeus,
fucking weird, dude.
Matthias. And this is a weird list. I don't know why I can't get like a definitive list here.
I don't think they're real. I think there's debate as to who was. Come on, you think there had to
Yeah.
have been so much stolen valor in like
Oh, yeah.
year 2 or 4, like AD? They're like, yeah, I was there. No, you weren't. Like, prove it. Well, there were even apostles who weren't there when Jesus like talked to the rest of the like Thomas, right?
Yeah.
He missed the meeting where Jesus came back after being crucified. And
Dude, we
gave
need
him
to read the
second
Old
cup.
Testament and do New Test or Old Test Bible improv. Sorry. yeah.
Fucking
I mean, we're already going to hell for
Yeah.
comedy. I feel like I'd like to die on a better hill than that, but maybe.
Right. Yeah. But
there was 2 James. Yeah.
and did you know that Jesus, his female followers were the only ones that had the fucking balls to watch the crucifixion?
True.
Yeah.
They were the only ones that had.
I think John was there with Mary, both Marys, but yeah,
Yeah.
well, because the other apostles they all flaked out big time. Like Peter denies Jesus three times.
3 times.
As prophesied, Jesus was like, "You're gonna like," because Peter was super gung ho, like, "I'll die for you, dog." And then, like at the supper, Jesus said, "No, you won't. I mean, you will eventually," because he did eventually get crucified upside down because he felt bad about kind of. I think he spent the rest of his life trying to repent for that, and that's why Judas. Because Judas committed suicide, so that's a one-way ticket to the pit.
Oh, he did. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
he killed himself. He tried to return the money that he was paid by the Pharisees to betray Jesus, and then said he realized how fucked up he was and how he'd been played by them and by the temple and by the Romans and probably by Jesus a little bit.
Yeah.
But so he was just super despair. But in Christianity, especially Catholicism, if you commit suicide, there's no repenting from that. So theoretically, if he'd had, but I just think that he'd betrayed him so badly, there was no coming back from
It's
that.
kind of unfair, though, of God to be like, okay, I'm sending Jesus to earth. He's going to do this whole thing. God already knows how it's going to pan out. It's not like God was like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens on season 3. Like, God knew Judas was going to betray him. So God created Judas to do that. And then
Right.
he's not going to let him into heaven? It's like, dude, you made me do that,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but he
You
gave
made
him
me
free
do
will,
that.
and maybe he didn't like the way he read the script. You know, that's a big thing. Producers do it all the time.
It's like, oh,
if
you
an
said
actor doesn't read the script as is supposed to be, who knows?
Wow, that's really deep. I need to steer that for a second. But see, that's part of the thing about the source. There's no such thing as light and dark. It's all divine. Charles Manson came here. He was fulfilling his divine purpose. Adolf Hitler changed the world. I'm not promoting them.
Of course not.
It's just Judas was fulfilling his divine role.
Manson, I thought he was getting his assignment from Beatles records, like Helter Skelter. right?
True. Yeah.
I think I listened to your podcast a long time ago where you said that he was talking or he went to this school or something when he was a teenager. It did like acid with CIA agents who were there.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
he was probably
He was
groomed
part of
into it.
MK Ultra.
Yeah.
He was 100% part of MK
Well, he
Ultra.
was a prison. he was a prison inmate in the '60s, so they were experimenting on people in jail all the
Totally.
time.
That's why they
Yeah,
kept on
yeah.
letting him off. And he was arrested so many times in the FBI. Like the local police will talk about like when he would be arrested, the FBI would step in and be like, "No, let him go." And they'd be like, "Why?"
A lot of these like creepy ass dudes, like the
Yeah.
villains in the like Lee Harvey Oswald. He
The Manson
basically
girls
committed,
were fucking sexy. Sorry. Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of why they were recruited. They were.
Yeah.
He would starve them.
Well, Lee Harvey
Piece
Oswald
of
was
shit.
obviously a patsy. We gotta. I mean,
Yeah.
we gotta. Come on.
Right,
Wait,
but
was
like
he the one that
Walter-
shot them? Sorry.
John
Shot
Kennedy,
JFK.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
right, but he defected to the Soviet Union and then was repatriated to the United States less than a year later. Nobody was able to really explain why. Because
So
he was in the
is-
military, he left to go to the Soviet Union, say, "Hey, I'm going to give them a bunch of secrets," and then was readmitted to the U.S. And that was probably in 1961 or 62.
Yeah, I haven't gone on nearly. I haven't deep dived on any of these really. But the Lee Harvey Oswald one is the one I'm least familiar with. It just seems to me like I just intuitively feel like it was a kind of an inside job.
I think you're supposed to at this point.
Dude, did you ever
think
listen
it's
to
not
that thing
cool
about
if you
Kennedy? Can you look it up, Jimmy? I'm so sorry. I just got excited. Where he's talking about secret societies.
Sure.
That's why they fucking killed Kennedy.
I
I
mean,
know
if
Joe
you-
Rogan played this like 1,000 times, but
I think it's because there's that Christ myth again, because John F. Kennedy represented like kind of a change or like a
Yeah,
new way
yeah.
of thinking in direct resistance to what was currently successful. So that's why
Yes.
people think that. I don't know if it's
Absolutely.
true or not.
No,
but-
100%. And I mean, his family came from mobsters, but then they turned their back on the Irish mob or on all big.
I think Oliver Stone needs to make a Jesus Christ biopic
Hell,
because every
yes.
director does. I think that's what he's got to do.
Honestly, I know you shouldn't say what you're going to do, but I've always wanted to write a comedy about Mary getting pregnant and just about her story. But it's like, but I don't know.
I watched this really
Quentin
good.
Tarantino did a Jesus movie too. That'd be fucking awesome.
That would be sick.
Oh man, who's gonna play him? I'd
Samuel,
like to see John David Washington play Jesus. He's in his 30s.
who is that?
Denzel's son. He's an actor.
Okay. Yeah,
he was
yeah.
in Tenet.
Never
I
seen
think.
it.
Yeah, me neither.
Tenet.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't
he was
watched
in there.
movies
He was in
with
Black Klansman.
Okay.
him. Yeah,
I like the sounds of that.
You ever saw that?
but yeah.
Of course,
Are we allowed to say that anymore?
the top video on YouTube is CNN's commentary
Oh my
on JFK's Secret Society's speech. So if you want to
Wow.
see Fareed Zakaria and what's his name?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's totally fine. Damn it! It's like I wish we could get the authentic clip, but sometimes it's
Well,
fun. to
let's
just,
see
roast
what
'em.
these two jokers have to say.
Presidency. It was a commencement address at American University.
See,
It
that's the
was
thing.
50 years
They don't
ago
just tell you the
now.
news. They want to
And
tell
it
you
said
what it
there's
means.
a way to make peace with the Soviet Union. It was so compelling
There you go.
that Nikita Khrushchev, Kennedy's counterpart,
Smoking gun. Boom. Got
heard
him.
the speech.
Solved it. Case closed.
Stopped.
You heard it here
We
last,
are.
folks.
We are. We are doing God's work right now.
I love that. Is anybody else? Here's a conspiracy for you. It seems like the days of being able to look something up on YouTube, especially, but the internet in general, and actually seeing the original thing are beyond us.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
done- like every
Yeah.
single thing you watch.
It's always 1 minute,
It's-
30 seconds
and
of-
or
about
it's a
something.
reaction to
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
or it's a somebody else commentating on the thing. It's like I forgot what I was trying to watch most recently. I think I was trying to watch that debate between DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. I was just trying to pop that on and see what was going on. This is like a month ago, and you could not find that fucking debate I couldn't find it for the life of me.
Wow.
Everything was like.
Everything you need to know about the Newsom DeSantis debate in 5 minutes.
And it's like, can I just watch the fucking thing? Why does everything have to be you telling me what the thing was?
Isn't it
Yes.
based on clicks, which means it's sort of kind of our fault if people are clicking on the React videos, that gets pumped up in the algorithm, right? That's what gets
Yeah,
pushed
yeah.
to the front of
Maybe,
your searches.
but
I don't
you-
know if it's assisted by anything, but yeah,
I'm
you do have to go into a couple pages.
YouTube
of
definitely,
yeah.
you know, it was also it's not entirely organic algorithm. I would say they're definitely pushing certain content above other content.
Oh,
But
yeah.
even so, it's like you would think that okay, fine, the front page. I'm saying you couldn't find the full. I was 4 pages back. I went onto a different search engine. Like I tried like some other thing that wasn't Google. It was like insane. In fact, actually, I think the only way I did find it was I used some other search engine that wasn't Google, and I was able to find it like 3 pages back. And it's like, why? I understand if like the top couple videos or a clip or this or a commentary, but like when it's almost unfindable, like I spent probably 20 minutes. The average person is not going to spend 20 minutes trying to fucking find a thing. They're going to
Right,
search it. They're going to come across that clip video. They're going to watch it. They're going to see whatever that person wants them to see from the thing. And that'll be their entire interpretation of the thing. And that's definitely on purpose. That's not, I can't imagine that there are that few people actually trying to watch the full debate that it was unfindable on the internet. It's
What did you?
script.
I've been so out of the loop, but like, what did you think about DeSantis? Apparently, he bowed down to Trump or something. Now he's Trump's cuck. Or
Well, he eats pudding with his fingers, and Trump calls them pudding fingers. So that's all you need to know about
but-
Ronnie DeSantis.
but like again,
Two
like,
fingers, snack pack, mouth, boom. Not presidential material.
pudding fingers.
Pudding fingers.
I love that.
I mean, Trump eats steak with ketchup, but it's a well done steak. It's a double negative. That's cool.
There is
Yeah.
a book that I need to read, and I want to get this guy on somehow. Contact him. His name's John Michael Greer. He's a druid, He wrote a book called The Occult
can't
Magic.
just ESPN, not to be an asshole, but we are on a podcast.
Yeah,
so
no.
I
Yeah,
have to say something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Can't you just send him like an astral projection message? Be like, hey,
yeah.
Timonium, Maryland. Don't tell him like a calendar date. Obviously, you give him like which planets in retrograde. He'll know. He'll get over here.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
coordinate
Fly over.
Earth.
Oh, I absolutely believe it. I'm not worried about promoting it anymore because I know that people are going to find me. Whoever needs to find me is going to find me. I didn't really even want to do this, but I basically was propelled forward by the universe, Tim.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad
so
they brought
sorry.
you here.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway,
Thanks for the ride.
Yeah,
Thanks, universe.
yeah, I'm sorry.
The big U.
Yeah, sorry for being a dick.
No,
I'll let
we're
you
all
guys
dicks.
talk.
Sorry for.
Love it. You brought up before the podcast that you would like to. Is it? I didn't realize that I was outnumbered in this room, 2 Jews to 1. I am not Jewish, as you guys know. But you did want to talk about the Palestine thing, which I thought was nice. I thought that was sweet. We can, if you want, or not.
Yeah,
But that was.
you
I'm just
guys
trying to
go
think of
ahead.
topics you
Yeah.
brought up beforehand.
Yeah.
You want us to talk about?
You want us?
it?
Oh no, because I can't take things seriously. I don't live there. I've gotten enough trouble just like in Facebook comment sections, just poking.
Yeah,
fun
I'm
at-
starting to
like,
realize that I'm probably not meant to be a comedian anymore because I take everything seriously now.
Do you really? You think so?
Yeah.
I think that's just the new wave of comedy. I think like not taking things seriously and being all fun loving is hack. It's just you're supposed to talk about your feelings. You're supposed to talk about your relationships and how they affect you personally.
Yeah. Me search, as they call it.
Me search. I like
Me
that.
search.
That's a good word.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of also get to know when I'm listening to podcasts that are like refuse to take anything seriously. You got to find like a happy medium.
Agreed.
Like I don't like I like Mark Normand a lot. He's been on this show or my podcast twice a long time ago. Obviously not when he was big. But he's one of those guys. He just won't. Like when you would listen to their podcast, like they actively, like the second the conversation starts to feel like it might be flirting with something serious, like, haha, comedy, and then like move on.
I would love to see like a shrink just try to diagnose and be like, you have severe avoidance issues because your father left you.
Well, I think it's just
Guilty.
like, I get it. There's certain comedians that are like that, like Jerry Seinfeld never really got into politics and stuff. But then you have
But
the
he
other
can
side.
stay on topic and actually talk about things without turning into a complete buffoonish asshole.
Yeah. Comedy's in a weird place in general right now where it's like, I'm glad we're not talking about Israel and Palestine right now. It's in a weird place in
Now
general.
that's some divine comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mia's here. I'll be right back. You guys.
God was like, dude, talk about Mark Normand.
Right. I mean, I catch myself getting too serious all the time, doing it right now. But
Yeah.
I try, when there's a mic on, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
You have a professional obligation not to get all boring and shit.
Yeah, you don't want to be boring. There's not really many jokes I can think of about the Israel
Pretty
conflict.
touchy, I mean,
If
I make fun of the people here who have really strong opinions. That's kind of how because it's just, unless you're actually involved in it, it's kind of silly to have that emotional of a reaction over what you see on television. I get it. If you have family, if you're from there, if you have relatable experiences, naturally, but there's some people that I really think are just doing it. They're really playing it up.
It's the stolen valor thing you're talking about. And people see something, they want to attach themselves to it. I know a lot of what I like secularish Jewish people that all of a sudden are like Jewish as fuck. It's like,
Oh yeah, the big identity thing.
Yeah, and it's like, they're like, oh, I'm afraid to leave my house. It's like, are you really though? Are you actually?
Right. Well,
I don't
that's like,
know.
and then it gets not to you totally self-awarely using this word, but it's the intersection of the news and what you just said, me search, right?
Yeah.
Like you realize this is a significant event, a historical event. Now, what's my role in it? That's a big thing. It's a big thing people always ask.
Well, there's the people that want to insert themselves in it by identifying with it, and then there's the other people that feel like there's this weird thing where you feel like you have to have an opinion about everything. You like, I think like, or people think that like not just that they have to have an opinion, but that they have to have the right opinion. Is she there?
I don't see her yet.
Okay, shut that door all the way.
Right. Yeah, and I get that too, because it's a way people kind of want to be relevant. I always kind of thought that, because like I'm 38 and I know a lot of folks that are now more politically involved than they really were back 20. I mean, yes, like our generation had a lot of political involvement. Like we were free in Tibet. We were doing all that shit, writing letters to Congress. I'm still honestly, like, I know it's going to affect my social credit score negatively with the PRC, but that's something I don't feel bad about. Like, well, I know it was kind of it was a popular thing and people did it.
Writing to Congress people and stuff?
Well, and especially that cause, because it was a big MTV thing. Because there was a lot of psyops against China back in the early 2000s. But still, I'm like, well, they're still the big
fun
enemy.
To be a psyop.
I mean, of course. But now, like, I think there's a different kind of involvement where you want to have as little actual work as possible, but maximum virtue signaling.
You want to have, I mean, because, okay, if you're writing a letter, think about what the time period you're talking about, right? Free and Tibet, when was that? The 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, like 2001.
Okay.
Too. Like around, like really kind of went cold after 9/11.
Yeah,
that's
pre social media, really. And when you were doing things like that, like maybe you would talk about it to your personal friends, like, I wrote a letter to the Congress.
And there was a community, there was like, because you actually are going to physical spaces. Like we would do this at our high school. Like we would, say, hey, we're going to be here this time. Can we please write these letters? And the school was all, very supportive of it. But it was also a way to connect with people. You're doing something, but that is kind of why people gravitated towards stuff like social activism back then. It was a way to actually not just help out or feel like you were helping out, but feel like you were connected with your own peers as well.
Yeah.
Which you don't really get that from social media. So people are more desperate for that connection.
I think people think they get that from that. But like you said, it is that same desire to want to connect with people or to want to feel like part of the thing, want to identify with that thing. The problem is that now, like back what you're talking about, physically going places,
right?
Writing a letter to a congressman that isn't
in this day and age, that sounds crazy.
It's too much effort.
Yeah,
it's much easier to tweet at some congressperson like in 140 characters or less and try to get a bunch of retweets by saying the most like clickable, retweetable quips.
And that has this effect on the people who actually still do get involved, because your normal sensible person may have gone to a protest 20 years ago. A sensible person now wouldn't be within miles of this thing because it's going to get hideous. It's going to get violent.
Yeah.
There's going to be something really fucking stupid that happens there. And you're just going to get involved. So it has this effect where it's either people are really involved and a little too involved in getting violent and doing illegal shit, or they're just, kind of faking the funk, so to speak.
Yeah. And then you see that evidently, like think about like, you can almost, I kind of want to sit down one day and just make like a little timeline just of the past like 10 years of all the massive worst things in the world's uproars that have happened. Like, 2 years ago is the Ukraine thing. And now,
Now it's Israel and Palestine.
Nobody talks about the Ukraine thing, really.
About Israel, Palestine as is, not like that kind of left the
it's
social media
on to the
cycle.
next thing. Like people get like none of these.
Believe me, I'm shaming people whenever they bring up some other thing, like some dumb comedy dispute. I'm like, you're talking about a comedy dispute? Do you know what the IDF did this week? You know what because the lefties love to give you the blow by blow. I feel like there's a lot of necrophilia in the left. Like they get off talking about death and suffering a little too much. I'm like, I feel like there's dudes that are out in the IDF that feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And most probably don't want to be doing heinous shit.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
You also don't want to get wiped off the map by an extremist group. So I kind of get that too.
Yeah.
But here it's just ridiculous. But then like, if you don't feel the right way about it doesn't matter if you agree with the opinion. I learned this pretty quickly after the 2016 election. I wasn't happy with the result, but I wasn't saying it in the right way. Yeah. Like you can't just say, well, I have apprehensions for whether or not our democracy will continue into the next decade. That wasn't it. You had to say, no, you're mad. You have to be mad because Hillary got the election stolen.
Yeah.
That was the party line. And it just seemed stupid to have a party line.
They made it about Hillary, which is not what it should have been about.
She most certainly lost and deserved to lose, but that's not the issue. It was just the party ran a shitty campaign. Mm-hmm. And they lost for it.
Yeah, it's. I was thinking, like, do you remember, like I think back to that thing. The first like real viral cause that I watched happen was in 2012. Was that Coney 2012 thing? Do you remember that?
I remember
Oh yeah, I do.
That was
Sure.
like the first time where I really I would say that was a major transformational period in the internet, because when I was in high school, I graduated in 2010. And Facebook kind of started popping off in 08. Before that, it was MySpace. Like my freshman and sophomore year, late middle school, I had MySpace. That was a thing. And the internet was kind of like a forum. It wasn't real life. And you would just say shit, do shit, and nobody took it seriously.
I mean, you were taught in the 90s and early 2000s, don't ever trust anything you read online. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that was they had context because we saw life pre-internet. And now you have generations of people that are growing up with it and not having ever known a time before it. And so that is real life. And the first time I ever saw that like massive kind of manufactured outrage online was that Coney thing. And I remember everybody was talking about how ridiculous it was. Everybody was getting so up in arms about this random warlord in some random country.
Right.
And everybody, and you saw people's ability to literally, for a split second, care so much about some shit that they never cared a second about beforehand and won't care
And
about
will
2 days
promptly
later.
forget. Yeah.
And then ever since then, it's like, it kind of reminds me of that kind of 1984 thing where they talk about like, there's always a constant war because they always have to direct the public towards an external enemy.
Exactly,
And then
yeah.
you look at like,
And then
what's-
they have the 2 minutes of hate because you do realize that people are frustrated. So you give them like an artificial outlet.
true. I forgot
That's
about
why
the 2 minutes of hate.
Oh, I think about it every time I go online.
and that's
I mean,
social
it's what-
media.
yeah,
That's your
because
3 hours of hate.
you're hit with a lot of images of stuff that's going to piss you off. It's designed and engineered to piss you off a little bit. And you're supposed to have a reaction. And it's kind of fun.
I think, you know, what we were talking about with kind of millennials being annoying. How many times is she going to show up?
Speaking of messiahs, am I right?
She said like 5 minutes ago, but yeah. Sorry.
Whatever. What the hell was I going to say? Fucking something about.
No, but this is, yeah, I completely agree with what you guys are
We going to the mic after this?
Oh, what time does it start?
Wait, where are you guys
8?
going?
With Zen, do you want to
Oh, my brother's going there, and I will go.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
hell
I'll go
yeah.
to the mic.
I embarrassed myself last time because I tried
Get on the mic, Sam.
I tried to fuck the greasy Greek chef,
Oh, no.
and he rejected me because he thought I wanted to date him.
Oh, no.
And
Typical.
I
Yo,
was
no.
drunk. I hadn't slept
Nobody's
in 3 days.
tying him down. He's a wild stallion.
The greasy.
So I had a
Greasy,
break dinner
grimy
that.
Greek gourmet.
But you know what? I redeemed myself. You know, it's called growing pains. And,
Hey, what
yeah.
are you going to do? Try a fuck Greek guy, whatever. Come back from it.
Yeah, but
You come back from it.
No, it starts at 8, so whatever.
Yeah, what
And
time?
it goes
oh
for a
fuck!
little
But
while.
Mia, I feel bad.
Well, I mean,
Well, maybe we can go there late. I mean, or I might go.
how do you
late.
feel bad? It's been over an hour.
I know. Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to fucking do?
Yeah.
We just got to keep this podcast going indefinitely until Mia shows up.
Dude, I've been watching that new like World War II series about like the Air Force. They're just keeping planes in the sky through sheer will. That's what we're doing here. You know, we're on 3 engines right now. It's okay.
Well, I'm
with
in
it.
the Space Force, but
We can do it. We can do it.
Well, that's like the original Space Force because they would see UFOs all the time and their command would say, "No, you fucking didn't."
I love. Okay, one thing I love about Donald Trump is that he had the balls to start Space Force. He started the fucking Space Force. It's like-
Actually, that's what kind of made me come around to the guy a little bit because I was up in Canada with with my in-laws, my wife, and I saw the Perseid meteorite.
I'm going to tell a joke about the
meteoroid shower.
Yeah.
And as in our fucking hemisphere, as an American, that pissed me off because
Yeah.
I'm like, who do those asshole asteroids think they are? Get out of our way. So I was
outta
like,
here.
we need some Space Force X-wings. Why blast them?
Okay, one thing though
dude.
that we're asking for trouble is their thing, and I said this in a joke, so I'm not, but it's semper something, but it basically means always above. Because yeah, that's what we want to tell the fucking
above the firmament.
That's
Fuck
what we
yeah,
want to tell
dude.
people, that we're above
Let's get
them.
into
And
it.
like every bottom on Grindr knows the guys bragging about tops are really the bottoms.
I mean, can you imagine 0G like space fucking? It's gonna be. There's gonna
Oh,
be.
yeah.
It's the military. There's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of it.
yeah. But
yeah, I fuck with the Space Force. too.
Enlisted. I mean, it's gonna be really bad when they start
I
putting
have the
enlisted
qualifications to
personnel
join
in
Space Force.
because
It's
like as a former enlisted personnel, we are the biggest morons you'll ever meet. Like we'll break shit, we'll fuck things up, mostly get the job done. So
You're gonna
like,
fuck
but
up
usually we
space.
try to keep that. Yes, satellites. They're gonna be falling out of the sky.
Space is fucked.
But you know, I've been watching.
There's gonna be graffiti on fucking everything. Like you're gonna see graffiti in the stars. Like someone's gonna draw a dick.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'll see like an Air Force or Navy jet pilot make the news for drawing a dick with the like vapor contrails. That will be happening with shuttles.
I look for that's how you know then we're actually controlling space. When you can draw a dick in space, we officially control the skies.
Hey Mia, we're talking about
we're just
space
talking about
dicks.
Space Force. What's up? This is Mia.
Hello.
That's
Hello.
Janine.
How's it going? Let me set you up here. Sam, let me get some banter going here, please.
Yeah. Let's see, Space Force.
Space Force and astrology. I mean, they're gonna have to have a whole astrology division.
Yeah.
Like they're probably working on it. You know, finding the right tones. Like you can't launch when certain planets are in retrograde. You're gonna cause all kinds of disasters.
Excuse me. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
You're looking beautiful. You're are you and Jimmy are Leos? I'm just trying to
Random, but I'm teaching English, and we've been reading Romeo and Juliet, and I saw that Juliet was a Leo, and then the story made more sense.
Why?
What was Romeo?
Scorpio,
Yeah.
probably.
That's what my parents
Yeah, I
were.
said water sign. He's definitely like a Cancer or Scorpio for sure.
Did he suggest the poison? I forget.
I forget too. We haven't gotten that far, and I don't remember the story.
Dude, we're all
I don't
fixed.
think he did though, because I don't think he knew, and that's why he killed himself. Because he didn't know.
She got poisoned on his toxic masculinity.
I don't know.
Because he
enough
didn't
about
respect.
astrology.
Yeah.
Is that staying up for you? Or is it going places?
It's going places.
But yeah, we're all fixed stars here. Scorpio, that's water, and fire is Leo, and I'm air. We don't have a Taurus here, but Taurus are assholes. So
Hitler was a Taurus. I know that.
well, it's bullshit. He was a shit eater. I think apparently he was into the shit.
We're in your season, right? Are you an Aquarius?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did your birthday already pass? Or
No,
it's
I slid in. I'm a fake Aquarius.
Hair's kind of bullshit though.
coming up? Okay.
I slid right in there between that cream Pisces and my mom's.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm autistic and I like wordplay. But.
Cream pie season. Let me mark my calendar for that one.
Yeah. So how's your daughter doing? She wanted to learn tarot, right?
I mean, yeah. It's funny because we just moved. I bought a house and I put together like a housewarming list for her birthday and for us moving in the house, and everything that she put on her list was like super witchy and nobody ordered it for her. And she was like, why are none of my stuff coming? And I was like, I hate to break it to you, but to the average person, particularly the average black person, stuff is a little weird. But so I was like,
I'm gonna get her a deck. I'm gonna get her a deck.
Yeah, it was like decoration stuff, like the moon and the things and the this and the black and all of that. She really likes to show our house. So
I love that show too. Yeah.
I
so
imagine
that's
it
where
being
it's
worse than that.
inspired.
The orders, the just moon and stuff. I thought she was gonna order like a cauldron or some like real witchy shit.
Yeah, nah.
Why do you need a broom? Why do you need a straw broomstick?
I mean, Halloween was always her favorite. Like, oh goodness, she showed me an animation today where it was like the
Dude, my kids
she
love
made-
Halloween.
Yeah, she made an animation, and I think the girl got stabbed. I don't know. It was like blood.
Yes, that's
like,
a
this is
YouTube
a lie.
conspiracy. Yeah, they're the creepy shit that they're showing on YouTube. Like my kids are only 2 and 3, and they're addicted.
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, "Mommy, like we want to watch the Rainbow Ghost and Zombie Peppa Pig." And
Yeah.
again, it's,
Yeah.
it's just like what we were talking about earlier, where these whatever you want to call them, the shadow government, whatever, or the archons, they want to use fear in order to control us, and
Oh,
they're
wow.
even doing it with our kids.
Yeah, I got a whole joke about that. I say one of my conspiracy theories is that like it's like, I don't know, it's like YouTube is like some mind control for kids. In like 30 years, they're going to play Daddy Finger and then everybody's going to become zombies or something. It's like, it's going to be the trigger word. And I'm like, Daddy Finger.
Oh,
You just
Daddy
gonna-
Finger! That sounds like, oh my
Wait,
god!
what's that? That's
I
not
know,
like
that's
salad
already
fingers,
weird,
is it?
right? That's already weird. I mean, that like when my kids were younger and they wanted to play that a million times, and daddy, and I'm
There's
like,
a reason why there's not an uncle finger.
weird. Yeah.
I don't know. You
Diddling
gotta
you.
remember, it's like adults came up with that name. Not a single one of them ever thought that was weird.
What?
Daddy fingers.
Yeah.
Daddy
Like
finger,
adults wrote
where
that, and they were
are
like,
you? Yeah. I think the whole premise is weird, but then it's just like, okay, are we projecting? It's innocent to kids, but it's one of them things
Yeah.
that could turn south really quickly. But yeah, I think like Baby Shark or something. Baby Shark's going to come on
my
in
God.
2050, and that whole generation is just
Oh,
going to
no.
like go to.
Baby Shark is
They're
a
going to resort to
psyop thing.
cannibalism. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
that's exactly what's
gonna
going to happen.
Baby,
I'm telling you.
Coco Melon is 100% a psyop. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, it's crazy.
I mean, but so were those old nursery rhymes. Those were fucked up. Like there were
Yeah.
like somebody showed me this book. Like it was a book of like illustrated German folk tales. And there's like this guy that if you're bad, if you suck your thumb, he's like this weird demon that'll fly out of your chimney with like pruning shears and cut your thumbs off.
That's fucking awesome. Actually, I'm going to remember that.
Dude, like the Grimm's fairy tale, that shit's messed up.
They did go
Fables. I mean, fables.
Fables.
A lot. There's a lot of death and suffering
Yeah.
in a
Mind
fable. Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Aesop's Fables in my bathroom. Fucking mind control.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's
What about
good.
A's Wops Fables? No, I tried to make a joke there.
Oh,
That's
Not far off.
More wordplay.
yeah. But,
Wordplay. That's a funny word.
Yeah, there it is.
Because I always thought of words as like work when I was in school. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not when I'm playing fucking
Yeah,
Mario.
Wordplay. You mind if I smoke a cigarette? Same way? Care? Okay, cool.
So today is
Dude,
Tuesday.
smoking is so cool.
I was just thinking, I,
love
was
Do
like,
you
when
mind if I have a
smoke.
cigarette too?
yeah, please do. I was thinking you don't look cool enough. Smoke a cigarette.
Dude, I love cigarettes.
Yeah. So today's
love
Tuesday.
That they exist.
You want one? Anybody want a
Yeah,
cigarette?
yeah.
No, thank you. I feel like that at this point. You gotta have two. You gotta have like
If all
a couple
four of us are
non-smokers.
smoking cigarettes on a podcast,
Yeah,
that'd
yeah.
be
That'd
be
for
new.
sure.
Should we
Yeah.
that'd be new. When's the last time you saw 4 people all smoking cigarettes?
I mean,
on a
okay,
podcast?
I guess so.
Yes.
Do I have 2 more in there?
I don't want to
even
take your if you're running low. I know they're expensive.
know. I don't care about that.
They're like $10 a pack now, right?
Oh, they're like 12. I have 1.
12?
You guys can split it.
Do you want it?
I'm good. Thank you.
I'm just gonna sit here unlit. Somebody's got to have one unlit. Yeah.
It is. There's something, and I know it's like phallic or whatever, but it's like this wand-like about. It's like a thing of like power, and there, a lot of. Yeah.
When you're
It's
making
like
a point.
incense.
It's like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, dude, clearly I'm correct right now.
That's why comedians get off like on the microphone. You feel powerful, like when
Dude,
you're,
smoking on stage. You ever actually been able to smoke a
Dude,
cigarette
oh my
on stage?
God.
Doing a set. It's very distracting.
Really? I've never had the pleasure.
You can do it in PA.
Yeah.
There's some places up there where they're still.
You can also fuck your Amish sister in PA. So I would.
True.
I don't have an Amish
In
sister,
the
so I
bar.
guess I'm just missing out.
Sounds like you're out of luck, buddy.
I'm sorry. I was near like the part of like.
I mean, yeah,
that
PA
was,
is
super
they
backwoods.
really don't give a fuck. If you can smoke a cigarette indoors, you're.
Well,
like,
it's weird to think that was like a very recent
I got one.
development.
Yeah, I remember when they changed the law.
It was like 08 in Maryland. And I remember people freaking out about it.
It was
Yeah,
bullshit.
They were going crazy.
It's like, dude, I can't smoke in a bar anymore?
I want to be able to murder my liver,
Yeah.
but keep my lungs
Oh,
relatively intact.
Philly, you can smoke. That was one of the coolest comedy experiences I've ever had. Is with smoking in a bar in Philly, doing comedy.
Yeah.
That was like years ago.
They understand freedom. What's wrong with freedom all of a sudden?
It's this nanny
don't tread on
state.
it.
I mean, come on. No, seriously. It's like, why the fuck can't I? Like, and then we've been fucking brainwashed now as a generation to think it's fucking a crazy idea to think that you would smoke in a bar.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
go in there, you're like, even the thought of smoking a cigarette is like, I can't even imagine doing it. But it's like, dude, this is normal shit. Your grandfather did this. Your dad did this.
We don't pay for health care. That's part of this shit. Like, if you could just easily go into a doctor and be checked out, that would be a different thing. But because we can't, then they have to do all of these protective measures
Yeah.
because
That's why witch
it's more
doctors-
expensive. Yeah.
So do you think if universal health care comes back or smoking will come back?
Maybe. Well,
Do you think they'll they're like,
because
all
now
right.
the
Yeah, I mean,
government
you'd be
will end up
stupid
paying
not
for
to.
it. So I don't know, but I mean, technology. So this is America, free market. So it's like, okay, now you can't smoke indoors. Let's create vapes. Or get us, you know
And
what I mean?
vapes,
And
So
then
now
some
you just
bars
vape.
say you can't vape in there,
Which
is nuts.
Why? It doesn't even do anything. It doesn't pollute the air. You just blow it into a vent. It's gone.
Yeah, you know.
Vapes are like that's literally
smell
like,
weird, but-
it's like especially the marijuana vapes. They're so powerful. It's like sucking the jizz right out of the devil's. It's like the shit that it does to your mind. Like I'll go from happy and I smoke, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, oh my god, the devil is
Don't-
real, and I like.
I've
The
heard
paranoia.
the vape, like the e-juice, really fucks you up.
E-juice, yeah,
It's
yeah.
worse for you, dude. I'm not even trying to be funny. I genuinely
Like
think those vapes are worse for you than a cigarette.
Yeah, cigarette will kill you over like 50 years. Vapes
Yeah.
will kill you tomorrow.
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck is in there. I say it all the time. It's like you ever watch those commercials that are like, if you or a loved one were exposed to asbestos in the years 1970 to 1978, you might be entitled to serious
That's
gonna
how
be
Angelos made his money.
fucking yeah. That's gonna be fucking Juul in 20, 30 years. You're
Dude, the big Juul
we
pod
didn't
class
know.
action.
How would we have known?
It's like you
I
didn't
they
think that was a bad
already
idea.
started it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But like they just introduced it to society. So how could we possibly know the long term effects?
What
You
the-
had to watch our parents grow up to be 60 and get cancer for us to be like, oh,
People denied
shit.
it for a long time too.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the 60s that like the government even admitted that there was a link between like tobacco and cancer.
Yeah.
And because it was, the tobacco industry had so much influence, so much pull, they were like, you're not publishing this study.
Yeah.
They probably had like the results for 20 years, but still it didn't come out.
And you wind up doing so much more when you're vaping because you can do it anywhere. Like if I was out in public at a bar, every time I want to smoke a cigarette, I got to get up out of my seat, put my coat
or
on,
in the
step
office,
outside,
you don't have to go outside for that one cigarette.
Yeah.
You just taking hits all day.
just ripping it all. Whenever I find myself with a vape, I just hit it unconsciously and I'll kill it in a day. And it's like, I think one Juul pod is like a pack's worth of cigarettes of nicotine. And people easily go through one Juul pod a day.
Does it fuck with your
that's
breathing the way that like cigarettes kind of give you a short
Vape, it literally feels like I'm inhaling that fucking like fog machine juice.
Jeez,
You smoke it in, and then you kind of get like shorter breath. I don't know. I'm a big devil you know versus a devil you don't guy. We know what cigarettes do.
It's a known
smoke packs
entity.
a day. I can't smoke a couple.
That fire safe shit they started putting into it though, I didn't like that. It makes it taste weird.
Oh, they have fire safe stuff now.
Yeah, because
That's good. I'm always worried I'm gonna light stuff on fire.
well, yeah, you're
But
not
now I
not
can't.
anymore.
My great grandmother
used to.
burned down 2 houses smoking cigarettes in
Yeah,
bed.
that-
That's
She
my
didn't learn after
ancestral
the
pride.
First one,
That was really a thing back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Where you'd
didn't
fall
realize They put a
asleep.
stop.
Yeah,
Like in bed.
she just didn't give a
And
fuck.
then it would be, yeah.
Yeah, that ruined the whole smoking a cigarette after sex thing for sure. That used to be the coolest thing. I've always wanted to do it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I roll
really
such
was
great
good.
joints. I have to worry about it.
Yeah, but what grade do you teach via? Like, are they hiding vapes and stuff? Like, are they
Oh,
kids and
absolutely.
stuff?
They
Yeah,
shut
yeah.
down the bathroom today because somebody was smoking in the
Wow.
bathroom. I was
Smoking in the
Like
Oh,
smoking,
yeah.
not vaping.
I'm not sure, but normally I've had a student like look the other way and vape real quick, and I've had to say like, "Are you serious?"
Are you middle school, high
I'm not
school?
sure.
What?
This is high school. So
Okay.
right now I'm teaching 9th grade. Before I was teaching 10th. And so yes, they usually will find somewhere else.
Do your male students like thirst after you? That must be like a weird age to teach. Like,
No, they don't.
yeah, that's yeah.
I keep making that joke. Like, no, first of all, I go to work
Yeah, I was gonna
generally
say, that'll piss
speaking
you
just
off.
like a weirdo. Like one of my students, because I was teaching science, and she told me that I look like a science teacher, and that was a high compliment. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Thank
yeah.
you." You're like, you look like a total dork, and I'm just like, wonderful. No, it would probably be more like the other staffs people, but no, not my students. No.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's just like a weird like I'm now. You know what's another psyop? I'm constantly seeing articles now about like hot women like molesting boys. But they always
psyop?
pick like the best selfie that she took. They never do that with male
Those are
sex
actually
offenders.
usually mugshots
that's
they
true.
publish.
Yeah.
No, they're taking this.
Never mind. What I was
Oh,
gonna
no,
say
go
was
ahead.
gonna sound really weird.
No, so this is the
Because
podcast.
even when you ask, like, do they, testosterone levels are at an all time low, and
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
even made a point that you don't see, like Adam apples anymore, and like young guys. And
Really?
I looked it up, and Adam apples are attached to testosterone levels, so it's like they're like way low, but they're still higher than I guess
when you get old, yeah.
guys your own age. And even though I think you're a complete weirdo, and that's another joke that I tell, like, I'm not Mary Kay Letourneau, like, do not play with me. But You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I feel like that's how some of these women kind of fall into that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
ED is at an all-time high.
I think you should have to be
Because all the vaping.
Yeah, that's
People are
ruining
vaping
it.
too much.
It probably is.
It's
Just
all
smoke reds.
We
Goes
could
right to your
smoke in a
cock.
bar. We wouldn't have all this fucking.
We wouldn't have all these problems.
Molestation and
When men
everything.
were men, women. It's like,
No,
Go to
I'm
a
sure a
bar.
lot of those like old smokers have some limp dicks too.
Sit next to a strapping young man smoking a cigarette at a bar and be like, I don't want to fuck a kid at all. I want to
wanna
fuck
kid
this
at all.
I
guy.
know, right?
yeah, like I don't get it. I'm like, again,
No, I'm
it's
just
hard
saying
for
that,
grown men to watch
that it's
that
a
boy.
weird psyop that they're doing to being like, oh, they're making it kind of like hot.
You
know, like
are
the
right.
hot
They
women.
always
Yeah,
do
yeah,
pick
yeah.
a hot picture of the woman.
Yeah.
They never do. They never take like school teacher, like male,
Is
and
it
they
'cause
have
they
like a
never-
shirtless picture of him at the beach. They would
Yeah.
never do that. They find the
No.
most creepiest looking picture
Is
of
it
him.
because they never the teenage guys don't say when they fuck like a Karen? They don't reveal it. They never
probably
tell. They
don't,
brag
yeah.
to all their
Probably don't
friends.
brag about
that, like,
They just do it and move on.
Yeah, we're only hearing
Fourth
about
period.
the good ones, unfortunately.
I mean,
I don't like this like
many
homely
guys
teacher erasure. You know, I want to
Yeah.
see like normal looking.
Dude,
kids.
I want to look
creeps, too.
homely. I want to look like I have a home.
Well, I mean, back in the '90s, it was still happening. It was more normal looking. It was Mary Kay Letourneau. She was like the Columbine of like the predatory teachers. It just changed
Columbine.
because there was so much style to Columbine. Like there was a trench
Yeah.
coat mafia.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
believe in God? You know, that was
Yeah,
school shootings
yeah.
were like kind of grimy. There was some glamour to Columbine. You know, it's Colorado, exotic location, Marilyn Manson. You know.
Yeah,
exotic.
A lot going for it. I mean,
Exotic.
compared to Timonium, Maryland, I would imagine Colorado, right?
Need a nice glistening snow.
I think I've been thinking for a while. I think you should have to be at least 15 years older than whatever grade you teach. I genuinely believe that. I think it's weird
Yeah.
that like there are, when you're in high school, there are people that are 18. Like that's people are seniors that are 18. And then you have some teachers that are like fresh out of college, like
Yeah.
22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
That's a college bar at that
Right.
point. There are 22-year-olds around 18-year-olds fucking each other all the time. The
Yeah.
idea that you can have those people in their mid to early 20s in the same classroom as 17, 18-year-olds, I don't know. I don't like
Yeah.
that. I think you should
At
have to
bare
be
minimum, you're just
35.
not going to want to listen to them. You're going to be like, what is this young putz who's fresh out of Towson
Putz.
going to teach me? I'm 16. This person's 23. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 15 years.
I feel like they all got to be Paul Giamatti because of that movie that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But like he's some grumpy old teacher who's just like really out
Paul
of touch.
Giamatti just like plays Paul Giamatti and everyone.
Well,
He,
he was in-
he kills the shit out of it. Though.
Like you ever
It's
see
like-
Private Parts with Howard Stern? He plays this
yeah.
radio engineer. He's only 30. I was like, this guy looks like he's 50.
Yeah.
He plays it like an old guy. He's like, no, he's like 31.
So you don't think it should be an age thing? You think that you should have to be ugly to teach?
Yeah. I think you need to have a certain level of gravitas. And I don't take hot people seriously. I'm never going to. I'm not
Yeah.
like maybe on certain matters. If you're teaching me how to like diffuse my hair, sure.
Yeah.
Like I want somebody, but like if you're teaching me about the Treaty of Westphalia, I need you to look like you
What
may have
is that?
been
Is
there.
that something to do with Kanye?
That's because
No
we probably had a
fucking
hot
idea.
teacher for history. I never fucking learned it.
No, I had normal looking teachers that were like, they weren't like hideous, but they were just like think Matthew Perry if he was like a real guy. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
accessible.
I had a hot teacher in 3rd grade. Her name is Miss Paper, and I used to draw her wearing leather, holding a whip. Me and
Oh my
friend would
gosh.
draw without even
In
realizing.
3rd grade?
She's
Not
like,
an
I'd be like,
8-year-old.
she's a superhero. So like no, so like
What
no
do you
wonder
think was
I'm
the
into,
significance of that?
Yeah.
God.
Looking, that was a weird memory that just came up. I'm sorry. Like,
Miss
Memory
Paper.
unlocked.
Miss Paper.
yeah.
Shout out Miss Paper.
Yeah, dude.
But anyway, so today's Tuesday. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Today is like the day of like war, basically, of battle. So we were talking about problematic things, or we want to get out in the Baltimore comedy scene, or just in general in our lives. So does anybody want to take? You don't have to talk.
I think
shit
God's
and stuff,
going to
but, like,
smite this fucking scene.
So if you just want to, or just say something that's like bothering you, just like get the rage out for a minute.
2 minutes of hate, baby.
Yeah, or,
All comes around.
or get the sage out, get the mage out.
I feel as if like I said before, there's a lot of toxic people in that scene that have prioritized.
There's toxic people who are pretending that they're not toxic.
Yeah.
The best comedians know that they're toxic and embrace it.
The priority.
Never trust somebody who talks about spreading positivity.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah, no.
that's like
huge
a
red
one
flag.
like you're obviously lying because like on the other side, usually people kind of play up the asshole side.
Yeah, but it's playing it up. It's play.
Right. It's mostly to keep people away from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that actually.
Yeah,
I do that a lot.
It's a defense mechanism. It works too. Like, because if people know you and they know you're like just fucking around, they're gonna see. They're like, okay, he's just being kind of a prick right now, but that's not who you really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they get the like not so friendly acquaintances to fuck off a little, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost think a lot of that, like, I feel like people that play up the assholeness are generally better people than people who play up the niceness, because you're usually overcompensating for something lacking in your. The people that I've seen be most vocal about like how good of a person they are usually the people that wind up being shitty people.
Oh my God, yeah. I knew a lot of the activist types when I was in college, especially. And you'd think like, oh, the left leaning person with the nose ring, there's no way they're going to be a manipulative psychopath that's doing the Eddie Haskell thing to like, you can fool a few people, but then you can like manipulate others and it's really fucked up. Yeah, sure.
Like all those, like I remember like when I was in college, that was like when Reddit was really popping off.
Oh shit, yeah.
And like that whole energy was like this, like girls only like douchebags. I'm too nice. Women don't. It's like, dude, you want to fuck
nice.
women just as much as the jock guy that wants to fuck women. The only difference is you do it in this weird fucking like, I'm your friend. You're more conniving and weird about it.
I think that's had generational like effects. Honestly, that's why you see such low. Not why you see low T, but it's probably correlated. Like when because like me was just talking about how testosterone levels are dropping, right? Mm-hmm. And dudes probably are aware of this and they just act out because you don't fucking know how to handle it.
Yeah, I watched a video.
It's good and bad, because you're not going to like go out and commit crimes the way that people used to generations
like
ago.
Men, yeah,
men used to be major criminals. You couldn't. I mean, they're still out there and they're still fucked up, but they're not as many, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I watched a video about a cuttlefish that was it sounds cute.
Isn't it with T's?
Huh? Cuttlefish.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn, cuttlefish. That's like from Baltimore, baby.
Yeah. I watched a video about a cuttlefish.
Yeah.
And basically there was this big alpha male, right, who had like a slew of females.
I hate him already.
Yeah. He was just like, he was the biggest cuttlefish. And he had
He was
like
the
all
alpha,
these,
not a cucklefish.
Yeah. And then you had this other male that obviously wants to mate as well, but he couldn't get like in with the females because the alpha would see him and be like, get the fuck out of here, dude. So then he changed his like thing to like take on a female.
Wow.
Take on like a female form, kind of like, and then he was able to slide in and pretend to be one of the females.
Whoa.
And then behind the alpha's back, like mate with a female. And I was like, dude, that's a fucking metaphor for those types of dudes. Like that's
You're not
totally
allowed
what
to say
that
metro,
is.
but isn't that like what that was in 2006?
That's
Yeah,
all
they were
the
metrosexuals.
But I was scolded by somebody who
that's all the straight guys on lesbian Tinders.
I can't get scolded. I feel like I'm scold proof because like someone tries it and I just start cackling at them like, yeah, you think it's gonna work? That's funny. But like apparently metros, that's a no-go now. But like that meant you were metropolitan. It meant you were like more. It wasn't even about like sexuality. It was more like you put on a fake sophistication.
Or like I always thought it was like dudes who like actually get their eyebrows done, or like dudes who like, you know, have like a good like hairstyle and don't just go to like the hair cuttery.
Yeah,
Like, I would consider that pretty.
That's also just or just being a fucking man.
Yeah, well,
Also works. No, I mean it's like it's weird because you can't ride the middle there. You either have to be a complete Slobovian or like a metrosexual like prude, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Me, I just have different days, you know? Like it's a Mars day, I'm feeling militaristic.
Yeah, I mean that's why I know. Look,
You got a good Big Lebowski thing going on.
Thanks,
right now. I actually
dude.
just watched that movie for the first time all the way through like a month ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
the
that's
movie.
it doesn't even make sense till you're like late 20s anyway.
Yeah, you kind of don't get it. I didn't get it until recently, and I was like, oh shit, dude. This is
Yeah,
quick.
I go through, you know, Coen brothers every once in a while. Thank you. That's a nice compliment.
Thank you,
It's better than when I get Seth Rogen. Like,
dude.
I was on a show where there were like 4 or 5 different variations on Seth Rogen in the lineup.
Like-
okay, it's an exaggeration. It was only 3, but that's still a lot.
That's enough.
That's
And
a lot.
That's a fair exaggeration.
Like we had eras. It was like Taylor Swift, you know, with the
Yeah.
Seth Rogen eras.
How do you feel about Seth Rogen? I think
I'm a fan. You know, he's fun.
I watched Neighbors last night or 2 nights ago.
Never
and
saw that.
it
This was
kinda-
Zac Efron. Right?
Yeah, it kind of hit me this might be a hot take. I'm not saying this to be a hot take, but it kind of hit me that every movie I can think of with Seth Rogen in it, he was not one of the funniest people in the movie. I feel like he was carried so much by like Jonah Hill and James Franco and all those other dudes that
you're right.
He was like funny by association. Like any movie where he was the main guy.
I think they made a movie about that. It's called Funny People. And the crux of it is that he's not that funny. I love funny people. That movie is dark as fuck. It's really depressing.
I've never seen a movie fall apart harder in the third act though. That movie gets so all over the place in the final like hour. I'm like, dude, this movie could have ended an hour ago.
You know what I miss?
That's Shut Appetite. And I like that though, because that's like kind of how movies used to be, like where there was a lot of stuff that you could have done without, but it also kind of created because the movies had longer run times when you didn't have shit to do besides be at the movies.
A slow burn.
Right. Now anything longer than 2 hours is like considered a marathon.
Yeah.
You have to take so many edibles to get through it. Oppenheimer, I don't know how many I was like mega milligrams actually.
But it's hilarious because people can sit and watch 12 hours binge watching Netflix or something. But a movie over 2 hours in a theater, it's like
there is something about.
But do you think people are binge watching and actually like really involved binge watching or binge watching on their? Because like there's watching and then there's like watching over your like cell phone.
I remember when I first saw Stranger Things, it had me in a chokehold. Like, and I thought I was gonna fall. I fall asleep on everything. And I don't know why I started it in the middle of the night. So part of the problem was that like it had me up because I was just genuinely scared.
Wow.
And being somebody born and raised in Baltimore, and we don't trust some of the hospitals and their experimentation.
Wow,
so
dude,
I'm just sitting there like this, and I literally watched the whole season at like 1:00 in the morning. But for the most part, yeah, you're right.
Oh my God,
But you're still getting up, maybe get something to eat.
Can I ask you more about?
And you're home too. It's so easy to like, dude, binge watching at home. It's so fun.
That is easy mode.
But what do you know like about the local? Did they do like Johns Hopkins? I haven't done enough like research, but do you know like?
See, I didn't even say name.
Oh, sorry. I'm like.
Oh yeah, but that is the one.
But yeah,
there's like a famous case with like Hopkins and just taking cells from like cancer. Henrietta Lacks. She was a cancer patient in the 50s, and like she had like this tumor that was like the cells were reproducing like even faster than cancer cells. So they like some geneticist took a sample. She died, and then they used cells that were reproduced taken originally from Henrietta Lacks, and then they used them on pretty much any genetic experiment, and just kind of didn't notify the family for like 40 years, and like it wasn't until the 90s or 2000s that anybody really knew about it.
Then they got sued recently by like Guatemala because they were like intentionally giving people syphilis or something, or gonorrhea, one of those. That was like in the 50s or 60s.
Did they at least get to fuck people? Like, sign up incels. Like, do a
does sound like a ripoff.
Yeah, and then I didn't even understand how I ended up in Guatemala. But there's a lot of stories. Like I'm from West Baltimore, so the stories didn't like circulate as much. But if you meet people from East Baltimore, especially during a certain time, there were stories like don't go past this place after a certain hour because basically the body snatchers, I forgot what they call it. It was either body snatcher or something would pick you up.
They need to make a movie about this, like filmed in Baltimore. That would be incredible.
I think they did.
But Hopkins pay everybody, so it's one of those things. And then like there's somebody that worked there. He told me that he was working there like in the 60s or something. He's like a former Black Panther, so he got arrested for a long time. So right before he got arrested, he was working there, and he was like assisting with somebody, and the woman, they accidentally like killed her or something like that because I think they had like the wrong paperwork. And
what the only Baltimore? What the fuck?
Yeah, and they like made up a story. So he saw them like make up a story to make it seem like something else happened when it was really their fault. So it's like I've heard stuff like that. And there's another story. Oh, and then somebody else, but this guy talks a lot of, so I don't know. But he said that he accidentally turned, I think he went to Hopkins, and he said he turned the wrong way and saw like monkeys in a cage and stuff. Because, it's a research university. Wow. So
that is so freaky, dude.
Exactly. And it's like stuff like that happens and
Baltimore
you don't
Zoo,
know.
dude.
So that.
Oh, that's so wrong.
And, and I'm like on a conspiracy theory tip, right? So especially the first season of Stranger Things, like it mixes that stuff that was happening in the 60s.
But it's with a white
with the
suburban
test
school,
of like
right?
LSD,
Yeah.
but it's set in that environment. But I'm still thinking of all of that being put together in this thing, and that had my brain like wide awake. I
Wow.
cannot go to bed.
I haven't watched it
Not
yet, but
watched.
Yeah, me neither.
A man that I'm a huge fan of. His
wow.
name is Damien Eccles, and he was sentenced to death when he was a teenager and accused of like killing children because he practiced like magic, and he was an occultist and like heavy metal bands, and he got off of death row by doing ceremonial magic. He's who got me into that, and they based the character Eddie off of him.
Oh wow!
In the fourth, I haven't watched it
the
yet.
later
But,
season.
yeah, but he totally. If you want to look at somebody who's a modern day messiah or messenger, that's him. Like,
Yeah, that's the
like-
thing. That show pulls from so many real life stuff, and so it's like if you're not aware, it's just pure entertainment. But if you are aware of the stuff that
Yeah.
it's just like this is nuts.
They call that like back speech, where they actually put like actual like mystical teachings or things, like they hide it in fantasy, and then the people who will understand that it's actually, will understand it. But
I'm gonna watch this now.
yeah.
My threshold is I have to be told to watch something by at least 436 people, and I have met the threshold.
Yeah.
honestly,
I saw the first couple seasons. It's pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I would.
I'm
stop
ambivalent
there.
as to whether or not
Didn't
you
Drake
should
try to
watch it.
fuck? He slid in that chick's DMs, and she's like, "Sorry, I always have that."
Millie
She's like,
Bobby?
yeah.
Brown or something like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they say. He always sliding in like when they're like that 16, 17 mark. He's just like,
Well, it could be
about
worse,
Drake?
but
yeah,
yeah.
that's what they say.
Y'all saw that
Crystal
shit
Lee
today,
does that
right?
shit too.
Somebody told
What'd
me
he do
about
today?
it. I didn't see it.
He did another one. He's doing another Me Too.
No. Even worse.
What?
Not even worse. Even better.
He's saving them now.
No, he. There's like a video of him like I don't know. Is he jerking off? I don't know what he's doing. But like it's just like him on a
Nice.
couch and solid dick. I'm not gonna lie. But like
Yeah, good girth.
good. Yeah, I mean like
My friend told me it's mostly guys talking about it.
Well, the thing is, I kind of been thinking. I did see in the Twitter comments, made me think. Somebody said, "Is it possible this could be AI?" Which sounds ridiculous. It does sound ridiculous. But
Yes.
I'm blaming every heinous thing I ever do or have done as AI.
the thing is,
that was the AI. Blame it on the rhythms.
the thing is, the answer to that question is yes, it is possible. So anybody who goes like, "Oh, it's not possible," it's like, dude, we obviously can make this. Now the question of is it AI? That's a different question. But obviously, it's possible.
Did you feel like it crossed the uncanny valley?
I felt here's a conspiracy theory I have about celebrity leaks. They're always pretty good. And I think that's weird. Like, is it like
He
every
leaked
time,
it himself. He wanted that to get out.
Every time
That's
you
what they
see,
say.
every time you see a
lot of sex
celebrity's
tapes.
dick get leaked, it's like not an embarrassing picture. You never see like a soft, flaccid, small, embarrassing dick.
You
get
doing
leaked.
like tabloids where they're like censored out, right?
yeah, censored out.
Yeah, you never seen Harvey Weinstein's dick, right?
Yeah.
I've heard there's like legends about how fucked up it was. He had like psoriasis on
And
his
it's always
nuts.
like the
That's
coolest.
the creepiest detail.
It's like a 7-second clip, and it's like, dude, there's not many flattering moments that you could capture when you're jerking off, especially from that
Like
angle.
the vinegar stroke.
Yeah, and he was like at the, I guess like the
Face.
least.
You know who has the biggest dick in Hollywood? Apparently, who I have a huge crush on still to this day, Willem Dafoe.
Interesting.
He's got the biggest, and I wanted to fuck that man since
I'm glad
I
he
was,
got something there. That's good.
6th grade.
Oh,
I wasn't thinking about I wasn't getting off to like the kids.
He does
and
play
Spider-Man.
Jesus
I was like,
Christ in a
He
Martin
does.
Scorsese.
I'm gonna masturbate to that tonight. Hell yeah.
This woman does not represent me, Lord.
Jesus is cool with it because
I did not co-sign on this. I'm Jewish.
No, Jesus literally married nuns, so it's cool. I'm like,
All right.
but yeah,
That's right, the bride of Christ.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to get. Well, yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I just think it's a little
What
bit.
time is it?
It comes back to sacrilegious masturbation every 10 minutes on this
Yeah.
podcast. And that's good.
But
That's
religion,
good.
fuck religion, spirituality, faith, that's beautiful. That's divinity. Religion is control and corruption. So fuck yeah.
I'm actually pro-organized religion. I've become
Yeah.
so contrarian. There's so many people that are against it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe we need Jesus. And not just Jesus. We need the King James Bible.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm
communion.
Jewish. Is that the like conservative? I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
It's
I'm
all
with
that
you, dude.
New Testament like
Yeah.
bullshit.
I'm
I'm
with
kidding.
you, dude. I'm with you. I think it's
No, I want to convert, but I want to find like a good one, like Catholicism or
Catholicism's kind of coming back.
I mean, I'm married into a semi-Episcopalian
well, it's only coming back because
family.
parents want to be able to sue the church for molesting their kids and make them quit paying.
What about Greek
Like, let me
Orthodox? Is that
register.
like pretty?
Greek Orthodox.
Got some fire and brimstone there.
Yeah, well, we separated from the Catholics soon after.
Famously,
Famously.
it was a big schism.
It was the Greek-Italian split. We were like, dude, fuck off. We're doing shit the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
The Orthodox
Yeah,
way.
have fun in hell, you fucking idolaters.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you
we
guys.
don't fuck with really the Pope and shit like that. Our
all
priests
the saints,
are allowed.
all the saints. That's like basically like paganism, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. But
No,
no.
no,
We have
no.
the same everything. We're Christian, dude. The only thing
Yeah.
we have different is that we have a different Easter. Our Easter this year is May 5th. It's based off Jewish Passover. Our Easter comes a week after Passover or something like that. Catholic Easter's like whenever the fucking
I want to
bunny
go to
comes
an
in.
Orthodox church because again, Damien Eccles, says to be able to absorb divine energy, you have to go where images of divinity are, and like Greek Orthodox churches have the most like sacred.
Yeah,
like, ancient-
Greek,
Oh, yeah.
Greek
It's
and
like
Easter. They
fucking
got the
heavy
good
metal.
art. Like
Yeah,
they
dude.
got the real. Like
dude.
there's one up the road, up on Shawan, I think.
Hell yeah.
I've never been in there, but I've like kind of like looked in from the road. The art is just so ornate.
Oh,
It's
I
not
love
like
it.
this
I love it.
this modern American like
Yeah.
Protestant like
Beautiful.
Mick Jesus crap that's like
Yeah.
kind of generic. No, this is like
Yeah,
there's some work that went
there's
into
some flavor in there.
And
you
that's
know?
because
Borscht.
they were literally pouring divine energy into it.
And you know what?
Like-
You know what the Greek Orthodox Church did the best was we don't require our priests to not be allowed to get married.
Right.
So
Exactly.
the rule is you can only have sex if you become a priest after you were married. So all the Greek priests just get married and then they fucking become a priest, and then you avoided the entire fucking molestation
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You know what's weird?
However,
Hell yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but
Oh,
this
that's
is
fine.
important. One of the priests at my church, his wife cheated on him. They got divorced, and now he's never allowed to fuck again.
Oh, that's so
wow.
sad.
And she's married to the other dude.
Wow.
Wow.
Keeper
And-
to keeper.
That's
Wow. You know what? Like women should be punished for sin. For
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
spoke.
I'm with that,
case.
dude.
Fuck
like, wow.
that.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I feel like in the
bold.
Episcopal Church, you can do whatever. They're a little. See, the thing is, like, they don't have the cross at all. You got to have something. Like, you got to.
It's kind of
Like
dope.
other, like without
Gotta have
the
bling.
sacrifice, it's just like he's one nice dude. But like,
Yeah,
where's the tragedy? You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not even Christian, but I kind of get you kind of need that.
yeah.
But then you have like there's a little too much of the cross with the conservative stuff where you kind of
Catholics
forget
are too
that the
crossy.
teaching. Yeah, they're too
Yeah.
crossy. The Episcopal not crossy enough. I went to
Yeah.
one. They just show him like feeding some lambs. I'm like, that could be anybody. What makes this lamb? What makes this lamb shepherd so special? What do you do?
Weber's Farm, dude, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
What
like,
is your
cool.
spirituality, Via? Like I haven't. Do you, yeah.
I mean, I grew up like in Baptist and non-denominational churches.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm rooted in. But I feel like truth exists in the intersections. That's what I said.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
See, because that's what paganism really is that it's not wrong to look at different faces and aspects of God, but you have to realize it all comes from like the same source. That's, yeah, sorry.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. And really the real idolatry is just looking at people like fucking Justin Bieber or whoever's famous and thinking like, oh, like worshiping and putting all of your focus and attention on them when you can
Yeah.
be just
Or Willem
as-
Dafoe. Or
Yeah. You got me there. Oh, I just love it. Like
More the serpent.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll are you guys cool? I've gotten into demonology lately. Like, and again, the demons aren't actual demons. They're just old gods from old tribes. It's like, are you cool? And I also have a Buffy deck. All right, can I just
do
pull
you want a
like,
vampire
card?
to
Yeah.
arrive, or do you
Yeah.
want a demon to arrive?
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Or
or-
maybe Sarah Michelle Gellar will bail us out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
it's
cool.
I am team
Yeah.
90s Buffy, like the movie
Yeah,
Buffy.
I fucking love Buffy. Okay,
I like that
cool.
one.
Yeah, if
better
we're
than the
going
show.
down, I want Joss Whedon writing the
Yeah.
script.
Yeah, I like that.
I want the demon to be hot.
Yeah.
And have like cool 90s frosted tips, maybe?
Yeah, metrosexual. Yes. I want a metrosexual demon from 2006.
Yeah, put on that theme song. That's a good theme song. By Nerf Herder.
Yeah. Cool. So does anybody have a question or anything? Or anybody want? Or should I just pull a card?
Well, I think, obviously you got to tarot these two.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Does anybody have like a question or anything? Or
Yeah, when can we leave?
oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's okay. Like, again, like, it's cool. We'll just end it here. Thank you guys. This is InfoWarlocks. Bye.
Sure.
Yeah.